and to my subscribers. Oh, you guys don't deserve this. But nevertheless, the only reason I'm bringing this video here to the channel is because Jesse Lee Peterson was on his channel. And yeah, Jesse Lee, Jesse. I love me some Jesse Lee Peterson. I don't think our man here was ready for this. He didn't know what he was going to get himself into. Anyway, Rashad Richie is gonna get pissed off. Let's just put it that way. Okay. But all right, here we are, friends. Without further ado, let's now get into the heart of this message. So I'm gonna let you check this one out with me. We're gonna keep this one simple. All right, let's check this one out.
Welcome to the bullpen. In the bullpen today, I have a conservative radio talk personality, TV host, extreme conservative, and he's proud of it. Pastor Jesse Lee Peterson, founder and president of Bond, B-O-N-D, and host of JLP Show and The Fallen State. Pastor Peterson, good day, welcome to Indisputable.
Thank you for having me on, I appreciate it.
Sir, you all have a celebration coming up next month. Are you not the founder of White History Month, I think, which starts in July?
Yeah, we're gonna be celebrating our 4th year of White History Month in July. And the reason that we started it in July is because if you notice, July just feels white.
Yeah.
You know, it's summertime, vacation time, relaxing time, reflecting time, and appreciating the greatest country on this side of heaven.
Gotcha.
And so we are recognizing that and showing our appreciation for it.
I think it's important for people to know you're not a comedian. What you're saying, right? What you're saying, this is actually you. You do this. You did found. You're the founder of White History Month.
Yes.
You've also been very critical of Juneteenth. You have called it a fake holiday, but you are. You want to make sure that everyone supports White History Month.
Absolutely.
I do want to have a policy discussion with you about the George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act. I'm going to attempt to have that policy discussion with you. Do you agree or disagree with the George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act?
I totally disagree because, as we all know, George Floyd was a black, unemployed drug addict with a criminal record. And I just
okay. Let's first of all, let's clear something up, sir.
He is triggered. He is already triggered. Show is over. I'll tell you what I love about Jesse Lee. I'm not saying I agree with his view, but this is what I love about him. I love his attitude. He keeps a straight face. Look at Jesse Lee's face. That man, listen, I have no care about what you think. I'm gonna tell you what I believe. He says it like it is, and he's done with it. You can wrestle and fight and throw a fit and do cartwheels all you want. Jesse Lee is telling you what he believes. It is what it is. You can work with it or run from it.
You really should be ashamed of yourself.
Wait. First of all, didn't he know? Doesn't he know who Jesse Lee Peterson is? Didn't you do some homework on who this man is? But I want you to look at Jesse Lee's face the whole time as he speaks. This is what's very interesting about all this.
You really should be ashamed of yourself. You call yourself a Christian pastor. George Floyd is dead.
It's his fault.
He's
First of all, I know this video is about a year and something old. And the truth is, George Floyd did have a drug habit. I have a lot of compassion. I don't think he deserves to die the way he did. But the evidence is clear, all right? He was doing fentanyl. He was high on that day. He should not have died. And I don't agree with the fact there was a knee on his neck. But the connection shows that even if there was no knee on his neck, highly likely George Floyd would have died anyway, just from the amount of drugs that he had in his system that day. Did he deserve it? No. It was sad. It breaks my heart It should have never been. But again, the black community refused to acknowledge that. We are crowning George Floyd as this martyr, but really he was not. And that's why I will say, watch Candace Owens movie. That gives you a good perspective. You know, the greatest lie ever sold. We need to watch that documentary and make sense of this thing. Hear the other side of the story. We don't need to lose our minds and throw a fit because something doesn't line up with our view. The thing is, if it's true, ask God for the strength to go through it and work with it. That's all I would say.
Dead because a cop killed him.
No,
Now,
he's dead because he was a drug
to
addict.
you,
Yeah, it wasn't the cop who killed him. That's actually incorrect. The drug that was in the system did it. We can say probably what the cop did precipitated his death. We could say that, but really that is evidently based on the evidence that's not true. And it took me a while to accept this, and I had to really swallow my pride, and put away a lot of different things to accept this. But when I look at evidence, when I look at truth, when I look at facts, I said, man, even though it hurts for me to say it, it's true. It's true. If George Floyd did not have these drugs in the system, he would be with us today. I'm pretty sure we probably wouldn't even know about who George Floyd is because it wasn't until he died. Nobody knew who he was until he died and became so popular. But nevertheless, yeah, it's just one of those sad cases.
because a cop killed him.
No,
Now,
he's dead because he was a drug addict.
My question to you, and that's adverse to the evidence, by the way, what you just said. My question to you was about policy. So let me ask you, what in the policy of the George Floyd Policing Act do you disagree with?
The whole idea,
Which part of the policy?
It's being disingenuous. You brought them into your show and you talking about a policy. You brought that up. Like, was he supposed to read this policy before he comes to your show? Did you let him know about that? So maybe, okay, Jesse Lee Peterson should have known about the policy before he disagrees with it. But he knows generally what this policy is about. So he is just saying, I don't agree with it, period. Yeah, we can say there are parts in there that are good and bad. I can understand that. But even the nature of the question is trying to say, well, I know what he's going to do. He's trapping him. Well, if you didn't read the policy, how can you say this and say that? To me, I'm like, you're playing games here. Like, don't play a game with the man. Don't try to embarrass him on your show. If you're going to bring him to your show, at least have an open mind to hear what he has to say, even though you might not like what he has to say.
Jesse,
Blaming the cops and no responsibility
Jesse,
for the
I'm
blacks.
asking you, what part of the policy is written? You can find it at congress.gov. What part of the policy, sir, do you disagree with? This is a simple question.
I disagree with the whole idea of a policy.
You haven't read the policy. You haven't even read the damn policy. Come on,
Jesse. I don't need to read it. I don't need to read it to know the truth, because what I've noticed is that black people today, due to their lack of love, their lack of believing in God, they love evil more than they love good, right?
So that's the reason why you don't read.
And so
that's the reason why you don't.
That's not what he said. You're reaching. That's the reason why you don't read. That's not what Jesse Lee is saying. Jesse Lee is saying we have some real issues here. Policy is not what's going to help us as a people. And that's actually true. We can have government policies to really assist in the situation in which we face as a culture. But nevertheless, it's not policies we have a problem with. The problem we have, as Jesse Lee is trying to highlight here, and he's not even allowing him the time to do it. Rashad is so triggered that he is not even open enough to hear another perspective. But nevertheless, what Jesse Lee is trying to articulate is this: the black culture has a moral problem. First of all, I want to say all culture have this problem. It's not just blacks. But since we're talking about blacks, he's aiming at the blacks. It's true, okay? Our culture is deplorable. Facts. We don't need to sugarcoat this anymore, okay? Just recently, I saw a number of young men. They came together and killed a 15-year-old, and they were on camera shaking each other's hand. They just shot the 15-year-old dead. I'm gonna make a reaction video to that. It's just deplorable. This is what our culture is doing. We make music about killing our young men, and we sell record of their deaths. We talk about that. We glorify the gangster, and we disrespect the college graduates. Somebody is being put in prison. When he comes home, we throw a party. A kid goes away for college. A black kid goes away to college. When he comes home, we don't even recognize him. We call him an Uncle Tom. So in other words, the black culture has some serious issues in the way that they deal with people. They glorify the wrong type of individuals. It's true. The one who sells drugs in our community and raps about it, we buy his record label, and we put his tattoos on our bodies. So these are things we look at as a culture. We say, okay, there's something wrong here. It's immorality. It is true. It is fed to us. It is in our music. It is in our TVs and so on. And the culture has adopted it. And it's sad and it's bad. Why? The families are gone. The parents are gone. The fathers are gone. And the family structure has been broken in the black community. And therefore, anything goes. And it's not a good thing. We need to acknowledge this. And as a black man, I'm like, enough excuses. Too many of our young men are dying in the streets. Jesse Lee Peterson is 100% correct about this. Yeah, I might not like the way he puts it. We can talk about that all day. But he's telling the truth, though. But again, well, Shawty's not ready for this. You want Jesse Lee to your channel, and you're not ready to discuss the view that he has? You're wasting your time. You should have never brought him there. But the thing he's saying is 100% correct.
More than they love good, right?
So that's the reason why you don't read.
But it's not all black people that are like this. I know Jesse Lee generalized. We have to read between the line. Okay, so even though you're saying black people do this, but he's speaking about the blacks who are suffering in these communities, blacks who are buying bars. He's talking about the gangsters and so on. That's who he's referring to. Because there's a lot of blacks. We are in church. We're running things. We're making things happen in the world. That's true. But he's talking about the ones who are complaining the most, the ones who are always in the streets and marching and yelling and screaming. Many of these blacks are they themselves. They're worse. Okay? They're doing the worst to themselves. So he's addressing these blacks, and I totally understand it.
And so
that's the reason why you don't read.
Right, because we're written by no good black people. And why should I waste my time knowing what they're about? Black folks today, not all, but most
He's so
have
triggered.
no sense of direction. They blame it everybody but themselves. And until they take responsibility for their own lives, they are not going to get better.
True.
The
Now,
real
do you
truth
blame-
is
let me ask you,
George
sir,
Floyd is dead
do you
because
blame-
of George Floyd and no one else.
That's a ridiculous point. But do you blame yourself for not reading the policy, or you blame somebody else?
Why should I read the policy when I already know the people?
You don't even know what's in the policy, do you?
I don't need to know, don't want to know. I know the people who are writing it, they're no good.
Okay, let's talk about Black Lives
He
Matter.
said, oh, he is so triggered. He's ready to jump on Jesse right now and just knock him out if you could. But thank God for cameras.
This is probably going to end up being an utter waste of my time having you on the show. What are your thoughts about
You
Black
don't know
Lives
that.
Matter?
You missed something.
Jesse, I love Jesse. I love me some Jesse Lee. Oh, he is something. He's a truth bomber, though. He tells it like it is. Even though I don't agree with the way he always articulates stuff. But for the most part, he's telling things that are true.
Well, we'll see, preacher. What is it about Black Lives Matter that you disagree with fundamentally?
Black Lives Matter was founded by a bunch of fat, black, radical lesbians.
Okay.
No, Jesse, you can't. It's true, but you still can't say it that way. It's just, I don't know. For as long as Jesse Lee has been talking, I can't believe he's still alive. Because this is the stuff you said that get you killed. Jesse. Oh my Lord. I can see his face. Look at his face. Oh, he's so done right now. He is so sick of this. He's so tired of Jesse. I'm ready to get rid of this guy right now. I'm done with him.
Founded by a bunch of fat, black, radical lesbians.
Okay.
And who
All
hate
right, have a good man.
God,
Get this clown off my show. I appreciate you.
who
Thank you for
hate
being-
God, who hate the
Thank you,
nuclear
sir.
family.
Yeah. Listen, for those of you,
He got rid of him. He got rid of him. Yeah, you had to. You should have done your homework before you brought Jesse Lee to the show. And if you were going to bring him to the show, you had to have the guts to endure. You don't have the heart for this kind of truth, because Jesse Lee is gonna bring it to you. You don't bring that kind of man to your show if you're not ready to hear what he has to say. Simple as that. He is so triggered. Look at his face. He's so done. He is so done He is like, I'm done. Get this clown, get this clown off my show. He is so upset right now. And he went on and talk and talk and talk and read comments and make fun of Jesse the rest of the time. But again, the truth is the truth. You don't like it, it is what it is. But I'll tell you one thing though, I love about Jesse. Whether you like him or not, one thing I love about Jesse is this. In the Bible, David, Psalms 115 says, about 15 verse 1 says, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in the holy hill? He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and does what? Speaketh the truth in his heart. I want to take this portion and apply it to Jesse. One thing I love about Jesse, he just speaks the truth that is in his heart. He is not ashamed. He's not ashamed of it. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He doesn't play around. Yes, I could definitely learn something from Jesse. He sticks to his guns. He asks you the question, you try to avoid it, he asks you the question again and again and again and again until he gets you to think from cause to effect. I love about this. I love this about Jesse. Yeah, there are some things I don't like. There's some things I wish he did differently, but it is what it is. This is Jesse Lee for you. Anyway, friends, thank you so very much for checking this one out with me. This was amazing. I just wanted to laugh a little bit. It's been a long day. It was about time I get some laughter in. Anyway, until next time, and as always, friends, remember to look unto Jesus, to live by faith. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Make sure you enjoy this content. All right, give me a thumbs up. It goes far. Have a good one. Bye.